For more on this, joining me now live from Ankara is Omer Ozkizilcik. He is a security analyst and a non-residential fellow at the Atlantic Council. Omer, great to have you here with us on TRT World. How significant of a moment is this, the opening of Damascus Airport for international flights?
So this signals that Damascus and Syria is opening to the world, actually, because the airports is known as one of the major travel opportunities and possibilities of the people. And with the airports now beginning to operate, we will see that the number of flights to Syria and from Syria will increase. So with the increase of movement of the people, I expect that this will accelerate the rebuilding of Syria as well.
What do you think is the biggest stumbling block when we talk about rebuilding Syria? I understand the new leader is engaging in diplomatic talks with regional players. We have more and more ministers from different countries visiting Damascus right now. But do you feel it's enough or perhaps more should be done?
So definitely Syria is in ruins. There is much to do and there needs much more to be done. But the most important aspect from my perspective is that Syria will be integrated into the international banking system, because as of now, many entrepreneurs are not able to invest in Syria. And without investments flourishing towards Syria, it will be really hard for the Syrians to rebuild and reconstruct the country. So I am still waiting for Syria's reintegration into the international banking system, which, to my perspective, is one of the most important steps to be taken.
And indeed, the economy of the country is also in a terrible shape. I was in Syria myself about a week ago, and I exchanged $100, and in return I got 1.4 million Syrian pounds, which was rather mind-boggling for me. And Omer, correct me if I'm wrong, the country cannot thrive until and unless these sanctions are lifted. We saw some progress on that front. The U.S. has waived some restrictions that were placed on Syria. But in order for any sort of progress on the economic side to happen, all of those sanctions have to be lifted. Am I correct?
Yes, definitely. And this is also not only important due to the economy and rebuilding of Syria, but this is also very important due to the moral high ground of the Western states and the European Union and the United States. So they have imposed these sanctions against the Assad regime because of the crimes it did. These sanctions, they repeatedly argued, are not against the Syrian people. So the Assad regime is gone. Why are the sanctions still imposed? The sanctions need to be withdrawn. There needs to be a full lifting of all sanctions. The regime, the reason is gone. It's not acceptable to punish the Syrian people for things they did not do. So this is outdated, and it's a misconception to use these sanctions as political leverage and as a political pressure tool against the new government in Damascus.
Omer Ozkizilcik, thanks very much for joining us here on TRT World. I really appreciate your taking out the time.